What is going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. Today, I wanted to talk about how to enjoy your statues more. And I think it's a combination of many things, honestly. Because there are statues that let's just start with one, properly displaying it where you can actually see the statue. I've been a victim of this, and I think every collector has at one point for the most part. But, basically, if a statue is super big, it's best it goes up high. That's the, brutal truth. You can only put, smaller statues go better down low. Simple as that. You can see them perfectly fine down low, but when they're super tall, they don't look good down low. Like Gandalf versus Balrog, that statue is huge. And I had it down low, and I was never able to truly enjoy that statue because of the viewing angles. There was a bar across the middle of Balrog's face, and I had terrible angles, and I wasn't really able to enjoy it. And my philosophy nowadays is kind of like, if you can't enjoy the statue, it's best just sell it. And I contemplated selling Balrog just because my angles were so bad, and Walt was in the other room. I could not figure out a way to get it top shelf that worked. Only by moving it into this room have I been able to truly enjoy Balrog. You know what I mean? I can definitely enjoy Kong Bust, Godzilla Bust, Mecha, all much better now. And I don't feel like any of my Transformers have really taken a huge sacrifice just because, I feel like they don't have like human faces that like you really need to see, like likeness and stuff like that. Transformers, you're not looking at the face 100% of the time. You're looking at the whole piece. And you can see all the whole pieces of these perfectly fine. Now, the worst is probably Starscream due to that bar, but it's still not that bad. But, that is the first thing, is honestly just properly displaying your statue, giving it sufficient space, not having it cluttered. When statues have statues blocking other statues, then, what is the point? I also don't like cluttering displays with other little statues. I think that looks terrible, and it takes away from the bigger pieces. I see a lot of people do it in the DBZ community where they'll have let's say a KD Goku bust, which looks amazing, but then they'll clutter it with a bunch of little crap in front of it. That just takes away from the KD Goku bust, in my opinion. Yes, I technically have space right here. I could technically fit a 1/4 scale statue there if I wanted to. Could you imagine if I had a random video game statue right there or something non-Monsterverse? It would look terrible. And it would take away from my enjoyment of the Godzilla diorama and Godzilla bust. So in my opinion, you should not clutter your statues. You need to give them proper angles on how to view them. You have to give them proper space to enjoy them. So that is the first thing. If you can't see it and you can't enjoy it, it's better just sell it or find a way to actually enjoy it. That is the first piece of advice from Flankster, a 10-year collecting veteran. Having collected over 500 statues over the years, that is my first and fourth thing. But I can tell you, I have sold many statues over the years simply because I could not enjoy them. I did not have good viewing angles, and it just did not work out. So that's the first thing. Second thing, proper lighting. I think lights make a huge difference. If you go into, let's just say any other statue room where the lighting is not on like this, or, we come in the video game room. Imagine I never installed lighting in any of this. And this was the angles, like the viewing display. As you can see, it just, when you turn the lights on, it just makes a huge, colossal difference. Alexa, turn on video game room. Boom. You see how it just instantly made the room so much better. Being able to actually have so much light. So lighting is definitely a huge thing, not just down here, but in general, your room lights. This room is probably one of my best rooms for lighting because I have just 4 canned lights, where my other ones do have 4 lights, but the rooms are bigger and I feel like it needs 5 or 6 lights. So if I could go back when I finished my basement, I would have told them to install more lighting. This room, I'm perfectly happy with. It's my best lit room, without a doubt. But if I could go through, I would definitely add one light here. You know, there used to be a light there. For some reason, they took it. And this room was the worst room. I actually changed out the can lighting for these guys because they're much brighter. But initially, it was 3 canned lights. And one was a fan because this was a gym room initially. But if I could fix it, I'd probably do 4 canned lights here and 2 over there. And maybe even like an additional one. I'd get another canned light in the entryway where Wolf is at, and at least 2 more in that room. You know, but, you know, I've kind of accepted my fate on my lighting situation, so I've installed good lighting here. And some of the spots that have lacked in lighting, you know, for example, like right here, the lighting is not the best. So I installed that. And here I installed this. But lighting is the second thing. You have to have good lighting. If you don't have good lighting, you're not going to be able to see your statue that good. So you need to install lighting. And frankly, the best lights I've experienced, you know, I've gone through quite a bit different lightings over the years. I've tried the IKEA Dior doors, if I'm pronouncing it right, and a few variations from IKEA. First off, I hate IKEA. I wish I never went there ever to buy anything statue related. I severely regret it. I wasted thousands of dollars at IKEA. I wish I would have stuck with Walmart and Amazon, because frankly, those are the better options. Like all my shelving's pretty much from Walmart. But this lighting right here is my favorite lighting. It's the absolute best visually. You know, those over there, that's the IKEA Dior doors. And then when you compare to this shelf, the bottom DBZ, it's these ones right here. They're like connected. And I actually ran the wire there. But basically, they each have 3, and these lights are super bright. You know, these have 4 Dior doors, and that is much better visually. You know, I much prefer this. This is my absolute favorite lighting, and I wish I could have my entire collection like this. The only reason I don't is because of the money and the hassle. You know, changing the lights out would be a hassle. What to do with the old Dior doors, or just add those to the Dior doors, which is what I'd probably do. I don't have the connectors for it, and it would cost a fortune to, you know, do it. But if you're just getting started, you're doing shelves, definitely stick to those ones. I don't remember the exact name of these lights. I do have a video about it though, because I actually got them for free for a promotion video, but I don't remember the name. But if you go back and search Flankster lights, you will find the video and the link to buy those lights. But those are my favorite. But yeah, in general, lighting is crucial, folks. Absolutely crucial. So if we repeat, step 1, properly displaying your statue, giving it, you know, proper height, space, and, you know, good angles and visibility. You know, some statues really need to be top shelf, otherwise they don't look good. Prime 1 Goku. That is a top shelf statue, folks. It does not look good down low. When I see people displaying that down low, I'm just like, why'd you even buy it? Just sell it. You know, Sume Broly is fine any angle. Does not need to be top shelf. You know, KD Goku bus, Vegeta bus, they need to be, you know, at a minimum this high. But frankly, this height is perfect. I can see them so much better now. When I'm sitting down, that's a good height. When I'm standing, this is the perfect height. You know, but, you know, displaying your statue, the proper height, giving it sufficient space, and so forth. And there's a fine line of clutter to, you know, just filling the display. So, you know, if you're displaying, let's say you have a bunch of DC 1/3 statues, and, you know, we go over here. Imagine I was putting statues behind this Joker statue. Right there. Or right there. How horrible that would look. I can't understand when collectors ever do that. Display statues behind other statues. I technically have white shelves behind that, and I could remove that poster, and technically I could throw my entire J&D line behind those busts. That'd free up this for Prime 1 statues. Imagine that. But to me personally, that would ruin my display. You cannot have statues blocking other statues. You can have statues like this, you know, like I can still see him, you know, they're close, but they're not blocking each other. Maybe from, yeah, like this angle, he's blocking him. But from the actual viewing angle, the only thing that's technically being blocked is his weapon. But I can still see his weapon actually really good. So yeah, don't block statues with other statues. You're just wasting money and ruining your display. You know, and here's the next thing I will say. Like, for me personally, when I start touring my cave, I sit down, you know, like I was just doing it moments before actually filming this video. I came down, I'm taking a break from work, sat down in the room. I've actually set up my Alexa system to start playing music when I turn on the statue lights themed from that room. You know, for example, I was playing Lord of the Rings, the prologue intro music, which has multiple like themes throughout it. I love that music. That song is so good. You know, or I'll listen to Monsterverse or Transformers music. But I like listening to music while, you know, sitting down looking at my statues. Another thing that works really well, I don't have the means to do it, but I will say, when I was at Tokyo Comic-Con, Prime One Studios booth, it was beyond amazing. I was like in heaven when I was there. They had TVs with almost like montages and trailers of said film that the statues were from, like The Dark Knight Rises. They had, I don't know if it was a trailer, like a montage of clips from it, but it was playing music, showing different scenes from the movie. And when I was looking at the statues, the montage and video was right like next to it. It was so cool, and it really just gave me goosebumps and that nostalgic feeling of how much I love those movies, and the statues felt extra special because of that. I think that is an excellent way to display your statues. Now, of course, for me, it'd be pretty much impossible to have like, imagine a freaking TV wall mounted behind every one of these instead of posters doing montages. You know, like how cool would it be to have like a TV here playing Godzilla vs. Kong fight scenes and music? Of course, that'd be way better, but that's just not practical. But let's say you have a small collection, maybe just one theme, and you do have a TV in that room. And if you're not watching the TV, maybe have it cycling, you know, said montage video or trailers. I think that'd be epic. But I will say, when I was there and I was doing Justice League, Dark Knight Rises, it was so freaking cool. But, you know, the cheaper man's version and people with, you know, no space for a bazillion TVs, playing music is definitely a way to enjoy your statues more, in my opinion. The next thing I will say in terms of how to enjoy your collection and statues more is by pairing stuff in themes. I am a huge believer that statues of pairs, you know, of themes need to be paired together. You know, like having my entire Lord of the Rings collection, you know, this is going to be the 1/4 display into the bus, into the creatures. Having it all together makes so much sense to me. I can never understand why someone would, you know, display, you know, like one Lord of the Rings piece next to a Marvel piece, next to a horror piece, and so forth. You know, just displaying like random pieces throughout everything. I do not understand that. Now, the one thing I do think looks good is if you have everything is completely random, there's no theme, but it's just like a movie theme. Like you have, let's say like the Sideshow premium format movie line, and it's just all different movies. But there's no like consistency. Like there's only one Lord of the Rings, one Hellboy, one, you know, 300, for example. You know, but I think that can work, but ultimately the best is to have everything themed together. That is without a doubt my favorite version of statues. I've tried the random theme over the years. I've seen a lot of other collectors, both in person and in videos. I can tell you now, it is better when it is based off theme. So I understand some people do it due to space, but I would say in that sense, less is more. Sell off the statues that are one-offs and randoms, and, you know, pair things with themes. Go by themes, you'll enjoy your collection more. So, yeah. You know, like imagine my AVP setup. It looks amazing. It's phenomenal. What if I just spread this throughout my entire collection and none of it was paired together? Like not even the bust in 1/3. Like imagine I just threw that Predator bust in the Marvel room and then put the Predator statue somewhere else. To me, it just doesn't make sense. It's like, what the heck? You gotta pair it together. It just makes so much more sense, and I can enjoy them more. They complement each other. You know, if I was to throw a random Wonder Woman or a Hulk in this display, it would look out. Now, Hulk probably could work, see as a creature, but you throw a random Iron Man in this display, say Iron Man next to Freddy and Jason, to me that looked terrible. It just does not work. You got to pair things based off theme and the IP they come from, you know. Now, sometimes you do have to make, you know, exceptions. Of course, there's always the when one line ends, when one begins. Like for me, this is where Marvel 1/4 begins. This is where DC 1/3 begins. That is my separator. You know, similar to like Loki to him, I don't view them as part of a display together. Even though they're next to each other, I view this as part of my Trinity wall. You know, and this is separate. This is the Marvel bust wall. When I'm looking at Loki, I'm not looking at, you know, Superman next to him thinking, oh, Superman and Loki, that's cool. No, I look at it like that. You know, but they're all superheroes. It all works in this room very well. It's all themed to superhero movies, which I'm a huge fan of. I'm actually playing Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League right now. It's pretty decent. You know, I beat Final Fantasy Rebirth, 10 out of 10, 82 hours. Absolutely freaking loved it. But I'm playing Suicide Squad until I get my next game. Anyways, folks, that is just my 2 cents of advice on how to enjoy your collection more. Take it with a grain of salt. If you enjoy your collection on all the ways I don't, hats off to you. At the end of the day, it's your collection. Display it how you want. But this is just what I think based off me collecting for over 10 years, hundreds of statues, hundreds of thousands of dollars spent. You know, and at the end of the day, you want to try to avoid selling statues and changing lines because right now it costs way too much if you decide you want to change your mind. Back in the day, it wasn't a huge deal. Like, you know, when I decided to sell off my Marvel comic line, I sold like $20,000 in a week. And I got all my money back. I didn't lose any money. In fact, I made some money. So it wasn't a big deal. Yeah, it was a hassle to box stuff up and whatnot, but I didn't lose a lot of money. Where now, let's say I decided, you know what, I don't want AVP. I want something else here. I would lose tens of thousands of dollars doing that. And the hassle and the months of trying to find buyers. It's too much hassle nowadays to be changing up lines. To, you know, and that's one big reason I feel like I'm truly in my end game, because it's too much hassle to try it up and sell line. I think I got lucky with my DBZ. You know, the fact I sold almost everything within a week is awesome. I only have 2 left, those 2. And so I feel like I got lucky, you know, and I didn't really lose any money on any of the statues I sold. So yeah, I got lucky, but I'm not going to go through any other big sell-offs anytime soon, that's for sure. There might be a statue here and there I may sell, but that's it. But it's too costly to make big line decisions nowadays. Anyways, folks, that is it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below and any other suggestions you have on how you enjoy your statues more that you feel like, why is no one else doing this? I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.